the guest schools are the first in the sequence, and the host school is the second one that I mentioned. So Machinana will go to Estumbo Elementary. DL Perez will go to Weddingell. Upi Elementary will go to Atacao. JQ San Miguel will go to CL Titano. HB Price Elementary will go to MU Lujan. PC Lujan Elementary will go to BP Carbolito.
Maximum volume.
Finnegajan Elementary School will go to Maria Lujola. And once it's confirmed, we will have J.M. Guerrero will host Chief Brody Elementary. And that will be in effect next week. The host school is already attending, and so they will be preparing their classrooms to share, and the principals and teachers are working through that process right now so that the coordination of facilities and materials and all of that is ready to go. So on the 22nd, the school that is traveling will attend on the host campus. So that first day on Thursday will be the guest school, not the host school. The schools that are being re-inspected, they will have the results next week, but the only two left to inspect, and that will start this weekend, are Inarajan Elementary and Talafofo Elementary. The other schools have already been inspected, but we don't have those results. They'll all be released next week. But the middle schools are starting online on the 22nd, the ones that are not already in session. And school administration and staff are making the decisions about which kind of computers are being checked out and doing all the logistics. They've already been doing it this week. They'll continue through next week so that they're ready to go on the 22nd.
What are those schools?
Okay, it's Inarajan Middle, Benavente Middle School, Jose Rios Middle School, FBLG, Ukadu High School, Southern High School, George Washington High School. Now, as we go into next week, the first schools to be inspected are going to be Ukadu and Southern. So our target is to get those schools off the online environment and into the brick and mortar environment face to face as quickly as possible. So once those inspections that are underway right now are finished, they're going to move on to Ukadu. I think they're going to start Ukadu this weekend.
Troy Torres with Kandit. Do you anticipate any of the other 6 Inarajan Middle, Benavente, Rios, FBLG, or I'm sorry, never mind FBLG, GW, that their passage of infections will happen after September?
Since we're putting them at the front of the line, no. The intent is that we get them done, and they're already working on preparing for that inspection, even though the inspectors aren't in the pipeline yet to get there.
Are you able to address any shortages in one-to-one aides, special education teachers, and also the ability for special education students to have a face-to-face learning environment?
We're working through remember, the operative term for a special ed student is IEP, Individual Education Plan. Okay. So we're working on the mechanism to deliver the services that their plan calls for. And admittedly, in this kind of situation, that might take a little bit of improvisation to do that. I was at one of our schools this morning that opened it, and they have a need to have 2 or 3 more individual aides, but what they discovered is that the way the classes are set up and where the students are, they already have 1 or 2 in the classroom, so the kids are still getting the support they need. And I know that as the guy who signs everything on hiring, I am signing up individual aides virtually every day in the hiring process. Do we have a full staff yet? No, we don't, and we're still recruiting. But we are making sure to deliver services.
Probably super glimpses of one. Deputy Superintendent Joe Sanchez, you mentioned that you're giving those students the opportunity to transfer temporarily, right?
Yeah.
To a face-to-face, right?
Yeah, so thank you. Let me go ahead and just address the special accommodations that are being made for special education. So yesterday I alluded to some of those recommendations that we've been having with principals and the special education division. We finalized those today with the superintendent. So yes, it's true that not all students will be, as the superintendent noted, it's elementary. Middle school and high school will be fully online. And part of that, you guys actually asked the right question, is because of the timeline. For example, schools like in Iran, they're only going to be out for 2 weeks. So to do an alternating schedule all the way to Ocean View just didn't make sense. And the principal said, is this really kind of the best route, or can we just start them up online and then eventually get back to their campus? Same thing with Jose Rios and Beneventi, is they would be out basically 3 weeks and then they go back to school the fourth week. So the alternating day didn't feel like it was kind of the best route. So with the special education students, there's three approaches that we're acknowledging. One is if a parent did want to transfer, like we had one parent make that request that they wanted to transfer to a school that was meeting daily, and we said, okay, that I think that's kind of simple. But that same parent who asked that question, when they found out that they were going to go back to school in 2 weeks, said, "Oh, it's just 2 weeks. Never mind." Right. So that's just a small example of what people are kind of thinking through. But we are giving them that option, is they can transfer to a school that's nearby or whatever they're convenient with, and have their child temporarily attend on a daily basis. The second part to that is all related services, the therapies, speech therapy, and whatnot. That will be given at an alternate site. So as the superintendent noted, it's case by case. So the school will be contacting the families to let them know where that site will be. Transportation might be an issue, so we're going to try to work that out individually with the families. We'll do the best that we can to see if transportation can be provided, but definitely the related services will be done at a separate site. For the mainstream students, and we kind of debated this for a while, mainstream students are special education students that are just in the regular classroom, because the intent is for them to receive regular ed, the regular ed curriculum with their peers. With that, there's also special accommodation, for example, additional times, supplemental materials, maybe additional variety of ways that they can present the instruction. Those will still be provided, but it'll be provided in an online environment. The schedule, and this is learned throughout the country, that the best schedule is not trying to mirror a regular school day. So it's not a 7-hour day that the students are online. It's actually, I believe it comes out to about 5 to 6 hours a day, and then an hour and a half or so is going to be what's called asynchronous time, where they can either do supplemental work, they can actually meet with their teachers in small groups, or whatever additional supports that need to be provided. So special education students will be kind of serviced during that time if necessary. And then lastly, we are offering a hard copy option, because even with the MiFis that we have out there, there's still folks, like for example down south, and this is not just one carrier. Most of our carriers do not work down south.
Dr. Swanson, so how are you feeling now that the first day of school is done? Is there like a little bit of a sigh of relief that you breathe? How is everyone here in Central doing? How are your principals doing?
The principals are feeling pretty darn good, because they're in, it's the best thing that happens when school starts. It's kids. And I've been on 6 of the campuses yesterday and today. And to a man and to a kid, everybody's glad to be there. They're excited, and the school started. The last school I was on today was over at Agatha Johnson Middle School, and the most important thing about middle school is your friends. You would think they've been in session for weeks. It's like, yep, hey, we're here, it's all happening, and we're good to go. I want that for all of our kids. And I got a point of clarification that folks asked for too, that with regard to the elementary schools that are visiting another campus, schools that are currently open are attending every day. So the first day on the 22nd of August is when the visiting school will attend on that campus that's already open. Middle and high school students will go online on the 22nd, the ones that are online. So again, those are Inarajan Middle, Benavente Middle, Jose Rios Middle, FBLG, Ocado High School, Southern High School, and GW.